us about your involvement on the Blogger Awards panel?
No one knows.
Chilibean. We won't mention that.
No, it's and again, this is Jonathan has been spearheading this. Yeah. There's a couple of people that he's contacted to say, we know that you feel quite passionate about this. We want to make the Blog Awards even bigger and better than it's been before. I think this is the third year running, and it's certainly something that we want to look at and looking at how better to get sort of voting procedures right. It's not just more the popular blogs now. It's actually something that actually makes sense and makes a contribution as well. And it's I think we've got quite a nice panel. It's quite a nice structure to it, and hopefully sort of quite soon that will be launched. And the marketing will continue to will actually start in earnest.
Well, I think in previous years we've seen logos and things appearing on people's on blog sidebars and that sort of thing, just to get the word out. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing how the Blog Awards are going to work out. The community seems to be coming together that much more. Yeah. I think with things like the 27 dinner, the geek dinners, the podcasts. I know that one of the criticisms about the South African blogosphere, I think this comment was made by Andy Hatfield of Cowboys and Engines, is that everybody seems to be commenting on everybody else's blogs, and I think there's some merit to that complaint, but at the same time it draws the community together that much more. So as the community becomes that much closer, I think we'll find that these blog awards might become that much more interesting, or maybe not. I mean, we might find there's that much more incest, within the community. We'll have to see how the voting thing pans out.
Something that I've noticed is previous, we talked about geek dinners and 27 dinners and those kind of things. End of last year, Joburg had an impromptu year-end shindig, and the funny thing is that you almost find a completely different type of blogger at something like that than what you would have found at the 27 dinner. And it's sort of, we need to also bring the different communities and different types of people together. I think there's a lot of collaboration that can actually happen, and a lot more sharing of ideas. I think that guys from Ostendo, for instance, I think they know a lot of stuff, and to be able to share it with other people in a different kind of forum would be really, really nice. And it goes for a lot of others as well.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be a good year for the local blogging community. And I know that we've been chatting to Mike Stockhoff at Cerebra about some ideas or some ways that we can try and really get the community going even further. I mean, I think that I've come to realize that it's a fairly dynamic community, and I mean, granted that it's focused in two areas, I mean, mainly Joburg and Cape Town, but Mike seems to think there's a fair sized community in Bloemfontein, and there are at least two people in Durban.
What's this Garden Route has actually got a event on either tonight or tomorrow. So
yeah, that's
tomorrow
right.
This week, So
there's a sizable community there in the Garden Route. But what might actually be quite funky is to actually have a road trip.
Absolutely.
You get a bus with a bunch of bloggers, and you just do a series of geek dinners around the country. That could be quite.
Hey, that's the next chili event.
The chili road trip. We're accepting donations, so just get in touch with us. Fund that whole process. But
tips at chilibean.co.za.
Chilibean, now it's tips as in cash. But that kind of thing becomes more possible now, because you have these communities which interact more. When we had at the last 27 dinner, we had Dave Dwighty from Cape Town up here. I know at the 27 dinner now in February, a whole bunch of Joburgers are going down there. I mean, we've been talking. I think you saw on the 27 dinner wiki that I was chatting to Carly Ritz over at Crazy Rand, and we were talking about working out some kind of thing where Joburgers can trek down there in April and have more of a presence there. So you've got this flow of people between Cape Town and Joburg, and granted it's not everybody coming up and going down at the same for each dinner, but we've got this interaction, and we've got more and more people mixing, and despite the distance between Joburg and Cape Town, those two groups are coming that much closer. So I think it really shows a lot of promise for how the community can develop over the coming year. Yeah, thanks very much for taking this show and for recording our announcement and hosting us today.
Tomorrow or whenever this is launched, we'll have PayPal on my site, so do go to www.aquilaonline.co.za and if you want to see the outtakes, I'm sure we can.
Very small to be.